Hello and welcome back to Focus Atlanta. Thanks so much for continuing to watch. In this segment, we're going to shift the focus and talk a little about safety. I'm here with Chief Stephen K. Stevens, and we're going to talk a little bit about those heavy trucks that we see on the road.
Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate the time.
Well, let's start at the beginning. What is the push? Is there a push to allow heavier vehicles on the road?
There is. An amendment in Congress right now as part of the larger highway bill, and it's called the 10-year pilot project, which always makes me smile because 10 years doesn't sound like a pilot. It sounds more permanent. But the bill is seeking to increase truck weight from the current 80,000 pounds to 91,000 pounds. So an extra 5.5 tons of weight on semi-tractor trailers on our roads.
Let's talk about the risk. That seems like it would pose a greater risk to those of us who are on the road along with these trucks.
You are absolutely correct. And the risk is really twofold. It's a safety risk and it's an infrastructure risk. So from a law enforcement perspective, we look at as a highway safety risk. 91,000 pounds, according to U.S. Department of Transportation study, 91,000 pound trucks have a 47% higher crash rate. So that's a huge red flag, number one. These trucks are harder to stop. It overtaxes their braking systems. It overtaxes their suspension systems. These heavier trucks have a higher out of service rate. And really it makes motorists guinea pigs. Our roads are going to be more dangerous. And as law enforcement, we find that unacceptable.
I've got to say, my first initial thought was, as you mentioned, the safety aspect, right? What about the rest of us who are on the roads? But can we talk a little bit about the infrastructure? Like, what is this going to do to our bridges and our roads? I mean, that seems really heavy.
Absolutely. So our study at CABT also found more than 68,000 local bridges across the country could not accommodate this higher weight of 91,000 pounds. And the cost to replace or upgrade those bridges is just over $78 billion. And if you want to look closer to home in Georgia, the bridge conditions on 15,090 of your bridges in Georgia, there are 4,200 that are in fair and poor condition. That's over 28% of your bridges statewide. And your crash stats show there were over 8,600 large truck crashes in Georgia in 2024, the last year we have data.
Wow. And again, I don't believe that it's any surprise that law enforcement would have issue with this. But honestly, even truck drivers, like there are many different advocates saying that this probably is not the greatest idea.
You're correct. Members of our coalition include the Truckload Carriers Association, OIDA, which is the Owner Operators Independent Drivers Association. And these are truck drivers. These are the professionals that are out on the road driving these trucks every day. They know the extra weight is dangerous. But on top of that, for the drivers, or I feel sorry for the owner operators who own their own small companies. So let's say I'm a small mom and pop company with 10 tractor trailers. If I want to haul 91,000, if this bill is passed, the bill also requires that I add a sixth axle to my trailer. Well, our friends in the trucking industry tell me that's $10,000 per trailer. So if I have that small company with 10 trailers, I am out of pocket $100,000 up front. On top of that, I'm going to be burning more fuel with this extra 5.5 tons. I now have this extra axle for maintenance. I now replacing more brakes, replacing more tires. So for these small companies, it's all cost and no benefit.
Oh my goodness. Well, what kind of role can we play? To your point, who can we talk to? How do we advocate for safer options?
That is the key question. And I would ask your listeners to do two things. Number one, go to our website, which is cabt.org. And there's a lot of great bullet pointed information on what we just talked about. And then I ask them, call your members of Congress, call your representatives, call your senators, tell them vote no for any bill that seeks to increase truck size and weight, because your members of Congress will listen to their constituents when they call.
Thank you so much for bringing this to our attention and letting us be a part of the solution. It was a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you very much. And I really appreciate your time.
Absolutely. All right, guys, that's a lot of information to take in. But again, he gave a website so that we can all learn more. We just want everyone to be as safe as possible. And sometimes these initiatives just don't appear to be that to the naked eye. So take the opportunity, learn more, and do your part to advocate for safer roads for all of us. And stay tuned to more Focus Atlanta. We'll be right back.